Hey, what's going on guys? In this video we are going to see a program that will count positive, negative, odd and even numbers. Okay, now let's go ahead and create this one. First of all, I'm introducing some integer type of variable. First we are going to get 10 numbers from the user. In order to get the 10 numbers, I'm using an array and I give the memory as 10. Okay, it can store 10 numbers. Now the next thing is I'm going to declare another variable that's called I. This is for the for loop, and then another one to count the positive numbers. I put positive and I initialize this one with 0. It's better to initialize all the positive, negative, odd and even number with 0, otherwise you will sometimes get bug. Okay, so I initialize this one with 0, and also I'm going to initialize negative with 0, and also I'm going to equate odd equal to 0, then I'm going to equate even equal to 0. Okay, now I have declared variables. The next thing is we are going to ask the numbers from the user. In order to get the number from the user, I'm going to give a prompt to the user to enter the numbers. So let's put the \n and enter the elements of the array. Now we want to get 10 numbers from the user. To get the 10 numbers, we are going to create a for loop that will run 10 times. This should be printf, and then 10 numbers. To get the 10 numbers from the user, for loop, and I initialize this one with 0. I is equal to 0. Then the condition is I is less than or equal to 9, because it's going to run 10 times. If it's starting from 0, it means 9 is 10, right? Then the next thing is we have to do the increment by 1 each time, I plus, and we have to also get 10 input from the user. To get the input from the user, we use a scanf statement. All of the values the user is going to enter is going to be integer type of variable, so we put a %d for that, and whatever the value the user enters should be stored in num, and I put I. Okay, and that's it. Now we are going to count the positive and negative number. Now here I'm going to use the shorthand form of if-else statement. If you remember, we can write the shorthand form of if-else statement like this. We put a statement, and if it's true, and the statement the question mark, if it's true, it's going to print out the first one. True, it's going to print out the first one. If it's false, it's going to print out the second one. This is a shorthand form of if-else statement. If this is true, print this one. If it's not, else print this one. Okay, that's what I'm going to use to count the negative and positive numbers. So I put num I, and if it's less than 0 means it's negative. Okay, less than 0. If it's true, we are going to print out the first one. That is, we are going to do the increment of negative by 1, because if it's less than 0, it should be negative. So this one should be incremented by 1. If it's not, then it's definitely a positive number. We have to do the increment of positive number by 1. Okay, now I put a semicolon right here, and then I do the same thing for even and odd and even numbers. To find out whether a number is odd or even, you can do the remainder. If you divide by 2 and if you have a remainder, it means that's an odd plus. If there's no remainder, it means that's an even number. And we have to do the increment of even number by 1. Okay, these are all for counting even, odd, negative, positive numbers. Now finally we are going to print out how many negative numbers we have, how many positive numbers we have, and how many odd number, how many even numbers. To print all these things, we are going to give a printf statement. In the first printf statement, I'm going to print out the negative numbers. Negative numbers %d and then this number should be coming from neg. Okay, now we have to do the same thing for positive numbers, odd numbers and even numbers. I copy this one and paste it right here. Then I'm going to print out positive numbers here. Positive number should come from POS. And then we have to print out the odd numbers and even numbers. Let's print the odd numbers first. Odd numbers, this should be coming from odd. And then we have to print out the even numbers. This should be coming from even. And that's it. Now let's go ahead and run this one. Okay, I think I'm missing a semicolon here. Let's see. Yeah, here it should be a semicolon. And that's it. Now let's go ahead and run this one. Scanf also missing a semicolon. Okay, this one should be this shouldn't be a semicolon. This one should be this. Okay, enter the elements of array. We had to put 10 input because we declared 10 in an array. Okay, 10 space. We have to declare 10 input. Let's put some number, random numbers, 10, 20, and also I also put some negative number, -5, -80, and 12, 123, 456, 67, -7, -8. Okay, now negative number 0. There's something wrong. Let me double check everything. Positive 0, negative 0, odd 0, even 0. Now I is less than 0, negative plus plus, else positive, less than 2. Oh, I made a mistake. After this scanf statement, I had to run this one also 10 times like this. So I just copy paste this one right here. Okay, now this one should work. 10, -9, -8, 67, 26, 39, 38, 8, 36. Okay, now it's counting properly. We have 3 negative numbers, 3 positive numbers are 7, odd numbers are 3, and even numbers are 7. And that's how we do that. I hope you guys find this video helpful. And if you are trying to access these codes, it's in my blogger. I put the link of my blogger in the description. And also, if you are trying to learn C or C++ programming, there are a bunch of videos in my playlist. I hope you guys watch that too. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.